Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be looking at a 2020 fantasy horror thriller movie titled Vampire Virus. The film starts in a long corridor of an asylum in Romania. A male doctor walks past a female colleague named Isabella in that corridor. She takes out a large syringe and walks to one of the asylum cells. Isabella is a nurse in that asylum, and some unusual experiments are going on in this asylum. Inside one of the cells, there's a woman in a straitjacket all tied up, who recognizes Isabella and begs her to relieve her pain. Isabella enters the cell and prepares to insert the needle when the girl lunges and bites her. She infects Isabella with a deadly virus. When the male doctor hears screaming, he enters the corridor. He notices that Isabella has been bitten and sets off an alarm. As Miss Label has been infected now, the topmost priority of all the asylum facility is to stop her from leaving and to contain the virus. The old doctor gets a hold of Isabella, but she manages to stab the doctor with the needle of that syringe and flee the scene before the arrival of all the guards' force. In America, we are introduced to Jennifer, a work enthusiast, elegant lady. She's running late to meet her friends. It's Friday night. They are drinking and gossiping, and they begin to insist on Jennifer accompanying them to the club. Jennifer's life is all about work, and she is not even interested in anything other than work. She never drinks alcohol and has no dating history. Her friends want her to have some fun, to party and to meet hot boys. She gives in and says she'll go home and change before meeting them at the club. At home, we are introduced to her roommate Jack. They are roommates for the past 6 years, but most importantly, they are best friends. Jack is behind on bills, but manages to produce some of the money he owes her when she mentions going out. He gets super excited when he hears the idea of Jennifer going out and having fun with her friends. He even insists her to bring some cool guy home at night. She invites Jake to a nightclub to be her wingman, but he refuses the offer, as he is scheduled to spend the evening with his boyfriend Freddie. At a crime scene, two detectives, Peterson and Noonan, enter a house with a uniformed cop, Freddie. The power is out, and they discover the husband, who appears to be dead in the kitchen, with an infected bite on his abdomen. The children are dead in another room, and the wife is missing. This appears to be an imitation of another home invasion and murder. They suspect that the mother is involved in the killing, and she is the only person missing from the whole killing scene, and everyone else is killed. The father coughs up blood, indicating that he is still alive. Forensic take control of the crime scene, and Fred leaves and joins his boyfriend, Jack, at Jack's place. Jennifer is very drunk after having 3 gins, and she is fascinated by a woman named Isabella and 2 guys who are dirty dancing. She and all of her friends are staring them continuously. They are fascinated by the dancers. They are dancing super hot. Both of the guys come up to their table and offers Jennifer to dance. She wanted one of her friends to accompany her in the dance, but the dancers said no. They wanted Jennifer, and she starts dancing with them alone. After a few minutes, Isabella steps up on the dance floor and Jennifer starts dancing with her. Jennifer has a glass of wine in her hand, and she breaks it whole dancing. Her hand is cut and starts bleeding. Isabella tells her she's a nurse and will dress her. Isabella takes her to the bar and cleans the cut in her palm before escorting her out to treat the wound. She leads her down an alley and through a door into a long corridor that leads to a chamber with a bed area. And after bandaging her hand, Isabella comes on to her. Jennifer really likes Isabella, and she goes down on her. What happens after that is all blurry. Jennifer wakes up in the alley all blurry. Her hand is completely healed, but she has a wound on her abdomen. First, she thought of it as a love bite, but it is different. She goes back to home in pain and looking all messy. Freddie is ready to leave in his cop uniform. Jennifer seems all messed up. Jack and Fred are worried about her. She goes to the bathroom and is thirsty, and lights are causing her panic. She accidentally breaks the mirror, and Jack enters to check on her. Broken mirror cuts the foot of Jack, and he bleeds. We see Jennifer getting attracted to the blood, but he soon covers the wound. Jack takes her to the hospital as he saw that big infectious wound on her abdomen. He calls and informs Fred about the whole incident. We see the detectives interrogating the father from the murder scene. He shows him the photos of Isabella, and he identifies her as the one who bit him. Detectives had a paper cut and blood drops on the table. The infected father wanted the blood, so he attempted to attack Detective, but luckily other police officer shoots him right into his face. They figured out that the virus originated from the Romania and was created in lab. The first victim of the virus was kept captive in a cell, but Isabella wanted to relieve her pain and got infected herself. She became the carrier of the deadly vampire virus and is now spreading the virus across the America, using nightclubs and by seducing and eventually transferring the virus to others. The virus is spread by the bite of the affected person. They send all the images and wounds and pictures of Isabella to all the clinics and media as they are about to see a full vampire virus epidemic. When Jennifer is being examined by the doctor at the clinic, they receive the images of the wound and Isabella as warning. Jennifer runs from the ward to save herself as she would be caught and would be kept in cell to avoid the spread. Jennifer and Jack leaves the clinic to search for Isabella. They go to the bar, and from the bar they find the alley where Isabella took Jennifer and transmitted her to the virus. In the alley there's an old homeless drunk person who keeps telling everyone the end is near. Jennifer opens the door and enters the basement and leaves Jack in the alley. The homeless person is beaten up by two strong homophobes. Jack attracts the attention them when he tries to rescue that old man. He threatens them that his boyfriend is a cop, and they laugh hysterically on him and kicks and beats him. In the basement, Isabella and two other vampires are feasting on the blood. They tell Jennifer that she is now one of them. She now needs blood to quench her thirst and has healing abilities, but she runs away in fear. Once she gets out of the basement, she finds Jack getting beaten. Then she attacks and murders the attackers and also feeding off one just like true vampire. Jennifer rescues Jack and takes him to Fred's place. Jake is badly injured, but Fred got a call from a crime scene and he leaves them there. At Fred's house, Isabella enters and talks Jennifer into joining her, and also to take Jake with them so he could be healed. As hand of Jennifer was also healed, so she accepts the offer and Isabella takes Jack. The cops arrive at the alley where Jennifer was murdered, two people, but they never check the door right next to the bodies that leads to the vampire's lair. After collecting evidence, they leave the scene for station and leaves Noonan there. Noonan then stakes out the alley and watches Isabella return to it and informs the others. Fred finds out that both Jack and Jennifer are missing. He tries to find them. He goes to the nightclub where Jennifer got her infection. He finds Jennifer there dancing exotically. She tells her that Jack has now been healed and is also one of hers now. Fred is confused and fell in Jennifer's trap. She kisses him. The friends of Jennifer who took her to that nightclub at first place are also at the club. They just sit there talking negatively about Jennifer and cursing her. The police have found out the vampire's lair and the place for the spread of the virus. They enter it with full force and attack the vampires using guns. They kill Isabella and shot Jack. Fred and Jennifer enters the lair in time. Fred urges detectives, don't kill Jack, he's a friend, and he begs for his life. Detectives tell him to look on the bite marks and he needs to be killed. Jennifer attacks the detective, transferring the virus. Jack bites Fred to make him one of them. Now all of them are vampires. In the morning, we see one of Jennifer's friends sitting in the taxi, but the driver is Jennifer. She attacks her and drinks her blood.